And we're back with M&A Access. I'm your host, Jordan Wendelken. We're at the AM&AA Winter Conference here in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I've got Ray Preston here with Flippa. He's the VP of Sales. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, we are talking M&A, but we have this great opportunity here with you on the show because a lot of the times we have very specialized M&A experts to a degree, and they're representing anything from cybersecurity to data collection. And I know a lot of our audience who could potentially be positioning for an exit strategy, a merger.
Yep.
They are seeking information, and where those other experts do play a huge role in this and do provide great information, they don't always necessarily have an exact resource to really launch that forward, right?
Yeah. And
we're in a situation here where you are representing a company that actually does that.
Yeah.
So this is great for us, and so to kind of get that ball rolling, let's just talk a little bit about Flippa.
Yeah.
Give me the 50-foot perspective.
Yeah. The 30-second elevator pitch.
There you go.
Of Flippa, done and done. So Flippa, we're the world's largest marketplace to buy and sell businesses. Our specific niches in the digital asset class.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
think SaaS businesses, content businesses, e-commerce businesses. We're a two-sided marketplace on both the buy and sell side. And so what's really cool about how Flippa works is we're actually a technology platform with a layer of advisory on top of that platform. So business owners at all types of scope and scale, whether you're a starter business trying to sell a $10,000 blog, or you have a portfolio of apps that you want to sell for $50 million, we have the buyer pool to connect you to the right type of business. So we had about 179,000 buyers sign up on Flippa last year alone.
Okay.
Been around 15 years, sold 15,000 businesses last year, and kind of our sweet spot is in the Main Street and lower middle market, the 100K plus deals up to about $50 million.
Nice. Yeah, that's also, again, another positive, because I do see a lot of times that, you know, the the sweet spots like 50
million to 250 million, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, all right. I don't know how many of those are watching the show.
That's
but
right.
at more power to you if you are. But I think that's great. And I want to go a little deeper into that as well.
Sure.
I mean, what's the bare minimum? I know you had said 100,000, so on, but is there like a minimum monthly revenue that has to achieve in order just to hit a bare minimum?
So on Flippa we are a marketplace really for the people, and what I mean by that is, as long as the business is profitable and running for a period of about a year, you can list it on Flippa. Now,
great.
Obviously, that business isn't going to be worth $10 million, but it might be worth 5 or 10 or 20,000. There's an entire economy on the Flippa marketplace where people build up websites and start to monetize it and then sell it as a starter site to somebody who wants to absorb it and get it going. That's a small piece of our business, obviously, but it is a piece that folks can do.
And so a lot of times the value, yes, there is a formula.
Yes.
But a lot of times the real value is what the buyer sees.
Exactly.
Right.
What's the price of a business? Whatever the buyer will pay for.
Right. The interest could be appealing to, where the P&L might not be appealing, the actual industry, what it represents. And being able to have a marketplace like you have, where it kind of goes, it analyzes all of that.
Yes.
And kind of has its own profile.
That's right.
Built up. And so what's that look like? So let's say I have a business, I've got it up on Flippa.
Yep.
What are you doing for me?
So for sub $100,000 assets, the marketplace is a beautiful thing because we have integrations with, let's say you're an e-commerce business, we have integrations with Stripe, with Shopify, with WooCommerce, with Amazon Seller Central, where we can build an IM directly on our platform, pulling information that can't be made up. It's legit, it's verified, it's legit revenue that we can see and operate. And we're connecting you with potential buyers that are vetted and verified to spend that type of money on a business.
I see. So you already have a relationship of sorts with the buying
yes,
side.
we have the world's. So this was just released a week ago, so pretty cool. We have the world's first M&A recommender tool, and what that means is buyers come to us on Flippa, and they go, okay, I'm looking to purchase an e-commerce business or a content business or a SaaS business, and I've got $5 million in liquidity to spend on something, right? And we then verify that they have the funds to do that.
Okay.
So how do they intend to pay? They might just be a high net worth individual, could be a PE, it could be a VC, it could be a family office looking to purchase something like that. And then from there, we vet and verify that they actually have the funds to do that.
Okay.
Based on what they're looking for, the type of niche that they're looking to be in. Maybe they're looking for a content site that focuses on the pet niche. I'm making something up, right? Sure. And then so our AI tool, our recommender tool, will actually invite those potential buyers in to view the deal.
Okay.
And then communication happens on our platform with vetted and verified buyers, vetted and verified sellers, and then the deal gets done on platform through our integrated services like escrow and Flippa payments as well. So can do due diligence,
sure.
can have Flippa legal services,
That's
etc.
fantastic. That's fantastic. What's an average for those that sell?
Yep. Yeah.
What is an average time period you would kind of say from list to...
Yeah, so it depends on the price point. Sub $100,000, about 30 days.
Nice.
And roughly 40% of those assets sell through when they're listed. For the $250 to $1 million range, it's about 4 months, and roughly 30% of those assets sell through on platform in a period of 4 months.
Bad at all.
On our 7-figure plus deals, 25% of them sell through on average, and it's a 6-month sales cycle, give or take.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear these stories of like years going by, and then
this is why we don't operate in that for those $250 million businesses.
exactly.
We sold the biggest business we sold last year on Flippa was a portfolio of apps for $46 million, and that took 7 months to sell. It was a portfolio of about 40 apps, all tied in, utility.
How deep do you guys go into the legal side and all of that as far as the actual sell cycle?
Yeah, so really good question. As a marketplace, we do high-level vetting and verification, meaning we will verify their P&Ls, we will verify their income statements, we'll verify their trailing 36 months tax statements, etc. But at the end of the day, it is up to the buyer and the seller to work together to do due diligence.
Of
right?
course. but at the same time, I mean, there's that liability that goes into play here for your company.
Of course.
And so you have to take it seriously.
Of course, which is why we don't just list any business on Flippa.
Right. Yeah,
so we have a team of folks that do manual vetting and verification. Sure. So before a listing can even go live at a certain value, we have to engage with them over a period of time to make sure we have what's necessary to get it listed.
So let's start talking a little bit about you.
Yeah, for sure.
And I forewarned you. Before going live. But you were in the educational realm.
Yeah, I was.
And admissions and enrollment.
Yeah, I was. My like everybody, I got into this career by accident, like a lot of people, I should say. And so I graduated from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University with a bachelor's degree in aeronautics.
Really?
With a bachelor's degree in aeronautics.
Okay, I like it.
And I went to school to be a pilot. I wanted to be an airline pilot. Okay. That's what I wanted to do. Not a bad industry to be in. And midway through going through college, I actually found out I was colorblind. And yeah, weird. You didn't know you were colorblind, right? No, I didn't. I see what I see.
Well, so So what level was that? I mean, was it
it wasn't terrible.
Okay,
it wasn't terrible, but it was enough. It was enough to cause a problem. Saying, okay, well, now you can't fly professionally anymore. Sure. Well, what do you do? Well, I graduated college in the height of the first recession. Went back to live with my parents in like 2006 or 7 or whenever it was. And I started bartending. I didn't know what to do. I should have had a degree in underwater basket weaving. I might have been able to do something better with it, right?
Except for you're mixing up the vodkas and the scotches.
That's it exactly. And so, long story short, I took a waiver on a potential job opportunity in recruiting. I knew I liked to talk to people. Admissions is a recruiting gig. It's a sales gig if you really think about it. And I got to work with my alma mater, Embry-Riddle, and I started as an admissions counselor. I got into marketing a little bit and understanding what that world was like and recruiting these kids to go follow their dreams of being a pilot, right? Which is really cool. And then from there, I kind of wanted to get out of the education space, and I went to go work for YP, the old school Yellow Pages.
Right. I know a lot about it.
The old school. I don't even think they make Yellow Pages anymore.
I don't think that's why they ended up going to YP and not Yellow Pages.
Exactly. And I started working there right when they kind of made the change from Yellow Pages to YP.
More of a digital,
to YP. And I started door knocking on business owners saying, hey, would you like to go into the new YP,
Sure.
this digital
So at this point you were like, I'm sales focused.
Yes. I know how to talk to people. I love to talk to people.
Not just about education. It's we're sales focused. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yes. So got into that and found out that I actually hated knocking on doors like that.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend of mine that said, hey, you should come over to check out this really cool, unique business called ZocDoc, which is a platform, an app that you can book doctor's appointments on. I still use it to this day. It's a great app. It's a great app. And it was my first sort of adventure in the startup world, the quote unquote startup world. Now, when I was there, it was a company worth $1 billion. It was already a unicorn. There were 400 or 500 people that worked there, and I was like, oh, the startup life is cool. At that point, it's not really a startup, but I'm like, they're giving us lunch every day. I love talking to these doctors. I'm selling through it.
Yeah.
And from there, I found out I enjoyed talking to these folks. I found out, we're helping these business owners generate more business for their offices, for their doctors' offices, for their practices. And so then I was like, okay, so what's next? Well, I wanted to get into leadership. I wanted to stop cold calling. I wanted to coach and mentor and train people. And that led me to a company called Outbound Engine, which is another startup, big startup, 300-400 people. And I did something similar, selling to real estate agents, marketing, a marketing platform, a marketing service, and enjoyed that. But then I was like, okay, I'm kind of tired of working at these quote unquote 400, 500 person startups.
Yeah.
And I had been introduced through a mutual friend to Connor Tomkeys, who is the CEO of a company called Support Ninja. And it's an outsourcing BPO company. If you are growing a business and you need some customer support and you don't necessarily want to hire in-house and you need to grow and scale a team, you can do that. So I took a flyer and hired me as their first salesperson at that company. And it was exciting. I walked into this startup, which was out of his one-bedroom apartment.
Okay. Extra startup.
Extra startup-y startup.
Maybe even not quite even startup.
Yeah, and so I walked in there and I go, what did I walk into? What am I doing here? And from there, we figured out that there was a real need and a real niche to provide incredible customer support, generating jobs for folks in the Philippines and building this incredible community of customer support representatives. We got up to about 10,000. And 3 years into it, we had an exit. We went through an exit.
Okay.
And
so you got to experience.
I got to experience
M&A.
my first M&A, exit, and I had a piece of it too, which was pretty cool. As I was employee number 3, maybe employee number 4. So I had a piece of that exit, and then so when that sold, I was like, I did it. Yeah, I'm gonna take time off. And 2 weeks later, I go,
how about that?
I can only play enough golf.
Right. yeah.
But I loved the M&A process. I loved going through the exit.
What about that? Did you find thrilling?
So it was terrible, and because you had to open up everything.
The kimono is wide open.
You had to open the kimono, but the fact that we were able to, this small little company, out of a one-bedroom apartment 3 years later, able to sell for 8 figures and go through the process and have a team that was 3 people to 10,000 people and just go through that. I was like, wow, how can we help other people do this? And that's how
There's got to be a better way.
That's how I found Flippa. That's how I found Flippa.
But would that company have been a candidate?
Yes,
for Flippa?
would have been a perfect
100%?
candidate. Would have been a perfect candidate for Flippa because it's not a brick and mortar business.
Yeah.
It is a monthly reoccurring revenue business, and it would have been a perfect candidate for Flippa.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And the only reason we sold, candidly, is because a broker reached out to us via cold email and said, "Hey, we'd like to represent you in an exit," which is what so many people do out here.
Right.
And
Well, that's great. So, and again, this plays into all of this, and it's great to hear your story because not only is, it has that experience from the sales side and you're VP of sales, but the fact that you've been through it, you not just had taken part in it, but you benefited from it.
Yes.
In multiple ways. But now you're helping people to go through that same process. You were in their shoes.
Oh yeah.
So to be able to speak with somebody, how would you have liked that?
Yeah.
If somebody was, in your shoes now, looking back, helping you.
Yeah, and it would have been wonderful. And the folks that we worked with on the brokers that helped us were good and we're very helpful through the process. But I think the difference with what we're providing at Flippa is a much bigger and broader network of folks that would have been interested in our business. And honestly, I think we probably could have sold for 20% more with the bigger pool that I know like a company like Flippa has, right?
Got it.
3 million active buyers.
Because does
on
it
the
get
Flippa
into
side.
like a bidding war of sorts?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So there you go.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not eBay where people are like clicking a bid button or something like that. But yeah, it's absolutely that. So, As it should. So when there's an LOI that's offered on platform for a $5 million business, every other buyer that has a similar mandate for that business goes, hey, there's been an LOI shared, not signed yet. Better act fast.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to miss this opportunity because once it's under LOI, there's a period of time where it can't be touched.
Great. So it markets itself and sells itself at that point.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's a nice feature
to have. It's a beautiful thing, yeah.
So as part of a requirement on this show is you have to give us a secret. You have to tell us something that is part of your pivoting in 2024, 2023. It's got to be a big secret. I'm just kidding. But don't worry, we'll edit it out. What does 2023 and 2024 look like? I'm sure a company like yours is not, just planning for next month.
Yeah. Well, 2023 and 2024 is a continued move up market and up the value chain for businesses that want to sell. We're going to continue to help the small business owners buy and sell, absolutely. But we're winning and selling through more 7, 8, and even 9-figure deals on Flippa than ever before. So we're going to continue to move up that path. We're going to continue to build incredible product on the technology front, like this recommender engine that was just built from our incredible product and engineering team. Nice. And then we're continuing to add additional advisors and brokers on our platform itself. We've just opened up offices in Amsterdam in the UK, and we're expanding into the European market, which is ripe with business owners that are looking to exit that don't have the same type of opportunity as folks do here in the US. Certainly, deals get done in Europe, obviously, but we're moving into that market to expand there.
Is that a saturated market for? It's not untouched.
It's pretty green. Shh.
Yeah. There you go. That's the secret we were looking for. You heard it. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth.
It's pretty untouched, and we're moving in there quickly.
Do it. You got to now because you said it.
Yeah,
so.
have to. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's been great having you on the show again. So tell us how they can find you because I know it's Flippa, but
you can email me directly at ray.preston@flippa.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, Ray Preston. Look for the handsome bald guy as a picture. You'll find it there. Flippa.com. You'll find us all over. So
excellent. Well, thanks for joining us on the show. That's fantastic information. Look them up, flippa.com. That is another episode of M&A Access. I'm your host, Jordan Wendelken, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us on M&A Access. If you enjoyed what you just watched, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more content just like that.